Alright, this is going to be a short update, and this is part of it. This inside wall here on the back track, you've seen it when you've done your cab ride. I've got to finish this out. I'm going to do that pretty soon. I'm going to order some more of that that material, that foil material that I use for these mountain thingies here. Yeah, these here, so it's actually, that's a foil. I don't know if I ever talked about that or not before, but I don't even remember what it was called. I'd have to look it up, but it comes in a roll. You just cut off what you need, you crinkle it up like you're going to throw it away, straighten it back out, mount it and paint it, and well, you got an instant mountain. And then, you know, you got to admit it does look pretty good. See if we're focused in over here. Pretty close. So that's the first thing I got to do. That's really important. And then, of course, I still haven't wired up. I don't know if you can see any of this or not. Up underneath now. I need that light again. Hang on a second. Alright, yeah, there you go, under here, take a look at this. A lot of wiring under there. And that's the bottom side of this area. So none of these tracks are active, oops. None of these tracks are actually active yet. So I'm going to have to get them as such. Now the rotary, that actually works, but the track on the turntable isn't operational yet, but it does actually turn. So I've got to take care of that. So listen, we were talking about this earlier on Wilmer's Not Bad episode on Monday. So one of the things I said I needed to get caught up on was my wiring and electrical, and that's an understatement, believe me. There's just so much to be done. And that's all here underneath. Yeah, it looks like spaghetti wire. I got to finish wiring up. That's for the turnouts over here on the north section. And I got to hook up the rest of the wires and tack all those up underneath. A lot of work. Then over here, I've been busy here lately. Yeah, I'm actually getting some things done. Not a lot, but some. My control panel for the northern district, which is this over here where the coal unloader and coal loader will be. So I've got, the panel is reconfigured now. I had to print a new background on there because of the track layout changes. But it's going to be fine. I've got all the LEDs sort of in place. At least I got the holders in place. I've got the turnout control switches to the left. There's 4 of them. And the center is actually going to be the I wonder if you can, oh, I can do that. And the center right there where that gray dot is, that's going to be where the coal loader servo controller will be, to open and close the chute. And over here will be the up and down buttons for the coal unloader to, you know, unload it and bring it back up into place. It's kind of simplistic. I didn't want to get too crazy with, you know, all these different trigger switches and all this. I had enough of a wiring nightmare as it is. So I don't want to get too crazy with it, but I don't know, it's probably going to be a couple of months before I can get all this stuff done. Now you said I'm just so far behind. I still haven't made the rotary couplers yet for the coal cars. I still got to order more coal cars, or coal hoppers. So I'll probably do that in the next day or two. I'm thinking I'd like to get at least 4 more for a total of 5. I don't think I have more room for more than 5, but who knows. let's see, that's about the main things that need to be done. Like I said, I've got to wire up, well, I've got some of the wires down here are for these turnout controls. Now what I've done is, I'm going to have, well, let me see, I probably illustrate this a little better maybe. I tell you what, hold on, I'm going to pause the camera and put on the tripod, then I can explain this better. Hang on. Alright, we're back online now. So, what I want to do is, where's my pencil thingy here? I gotta go out and buy one of them laser pointers when I get a chance, but this will do for now. So I've got a separate switch. This will be switch number 1 for this turnout control for the Amtrak terminal, which is up high. A passenger rail. Now here, number 2, that's for the coal unloader. Now I'm going to run this turnout control and this turnout control together on one switch. So I can run them both, so they'll both either be, you know, for the active siding or the active main line. So that solves a lot of problems. I got a little crazy here with the LEDs, but no biggie. That's just the way it works. So that's going to be switch number 2, is going to control the coal unloader line rail. Now, we've got the 3 main lines, which is here, here, and here. So the next one will be switch number 3, which will control these 2 turnouts together, since basically they would work together anyway. If you're coming off of this main and you're going to go down there, so you're going to have to switch this one over to get over anyway. So switch number 3 is going to work the turnout controller for here and here. And then number 4 will be on the other side, which will control this turnout here and this turnout here. It's the same deal. You'd have to change them both to cross over anyway. So, and like I said, the red represents the active siding, or spur, I guess you'd call it. I'm not 100% on some of these terminologies, but you guys get it. And then the main lines are green. So when the greens are lit up, that means we're going to be either on this main, or this main, depending where the train's at, or which train we're running. So that's the way. Now the coal unloader, like I said, I ordered a servo controller and tester. It's just a dial. It's a little thing, but it's perfect for what I need. So basically, it's going to open and close the chute on the coal loader, which will be up on the 2nd level. That'll take care of that. This way I don't need any sensors or any kind of things to worry about, you know. It'll be easier to do it manually like that. So that's that. And over here, I've got these 2 momentary push buttons. So let's say this one here would actually roll it over to dump the coal from the unloader. And then when you're done dumping, you would push this one to bring it back up to its upright position. Pretty simple. Like I said, didn't need a lot of sensors, limit switches, or any of that stuff. That was just more complicated than it needed to be. And I'm sitting right here so I can eye it and where the car needs to go, so I don't need to have anything to let me know when the car is in the proper position. I can see it. Later on, I might actually put maybe like a little, I'm not sure what you call, like a traffic light that'll, you know, maybe tell you when you need the car can go or when to stop. I don't know, something like that. But that's down the road. I'm not too worried about that right now. I just want to get the basic stuff done. And I'm still waiting on components for both the loader and the unloader. I have the servo for the loader, but I'm waiting for a gear reduction motor for the unloader. And of course the servo controller. I need that for the loader. And I'm probably gonna have to get some more styrene plastic to make the chutes and whatever. Little penny ante things. I did get the brass in for the rotary control, yeah, I can't think today. The rotary knuckles. So it's just a matter of sitting down there. When I build those, I'll go ahead and document them. I'll put them up on a video once I get situated here and want to sit down and actually work on them. That's the big thing. When do I want to work on them? So that's that. And like I said, I think maybe tonight when I get off of this, I'm going to go ahead and order for more of that foil paper for the back side of that mountain, because it looks, that's the thing. When you got an onboard camera on the train, you see all the things that you normally wouldn't see. So, and the same thing, even inside the tunnels there, it's all open. I want to close those in, make them look like actual tunnels. And I can use the same stuff on that. So it'll be a little tricky to get in there, because I should have done that to begin with, and I didn't. But hey, everything in this layout is a live and learn, trust me. Trial and error. It seems like there's more error than there is trial, but hey, that's the way it goes. So I want to get that done. And that's kind of really it for the big stuff. Like I said, the wiring and the mountain areas there for the tunnel enclosures and the back side of that one rail. After that, it's going to be probably going back to scenery. Well, that's after I get the coal loader and unloader finished. So then I guess really after that it'll be down to scenery. And if you were listening, if you were on Wilmer's show on Monday, it was not a bad show. We were talking about ballasting, and even Wilmer brought it up that I dread ballasting. I've never done it before. I've watched different videos, a lot of different ways to do it. I bought these cool tools. I bought one of them. It's a ballast spreader, and believe it or not, it's I think is that one electronic. Hold on just a second. I'll pause the camera for a second and show what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm back. Now this is from Proz's, that company out in England. They're kind of pricey. I mean, like I said, all this stuff is expensive. I'm crazy because I shouldn't spend this kind of money, but I do anyway. But I want the job to come out right, and I kind of trust these tools a little bit. Anyway, this is a ballast spreader. And you fill it up, and it's got an on and off thing here. And you can actually hook it up to your engine, your locomotive, and especially on DCC, you can drag it slowly. And this lever here sets the height that you want for your ballast. So this spreads the ballast, which is pretty cool. And then after you're done spreading the ballast, well, naturally you got to glue it down. And from the same company, I bought and this is electronic. This thing was kind of really expensive, but I think it's worth the money. It's also from Proz's. It's the glue applicator for the ballast. Let me see if I can bring that up a little bit. And once again, it runs off track power, and you can pull or push this with the engine, with the loco, which is really handy. And what it does is, you set the amount that you want to drop, and you make your glue mix, and you put it in the top here. And it will dispense the glue in like 3 drops, 1 on each side and 1 in the center. And depending upon, of course you want to set your speed and and it works beautifully. I mean, the way they show it on the thing anyway. So hopefully it'll do what it's supposed to. But that thing, I think, it's almost $60. It was kind of expensive. And the worst part is, once you're done using it, you probably never use it again, right? But it's a worthwhile tool to have. Same thing with the spreader. So between the two, in theory, I should be able to do a bang-up job on ballasting, I'm hoping anyway. And like I said, when I'm ready to do it, and it's down the road a ways, it may be probably after Strasbourg, I don't know, but because I want to pretty much do everything before I do the ballasting. As far as, near the track, so I'll videotape it, I'll give a little how-to, do it yourself, whatever, and show you how I did it. And if you guys are impressed, well, maybe you want to go out and spend the money on one of these, I don't know. Like I said, the ballast spreader, I think was 40-some dollars. So you're looking at just over $100 for the 2 pieces. It's like I said, it's kind of expensive. I mean, to me it is anyway. Some of you guys might say, oh, it's nothing. And maybe for some of you it isn't, but it's still, I think it's kind of pricey, but if it does the job, it's worth the money. So to me, that seems like the easiest way to do it. I mean, I got a lot of track here, and a lot of it's kind of hard to reach, so, you know, I can't really get in there with a spoon, and, you know, I mean, it's a good idea. I've seen guys do it, and it looks easy enough, but you got to have access to the track, and there's some of this track I simply don't have access to. So I can use this spreader and glue applicator to do the job for me. So, you know, that's the theory anyway, if it works. So we'll see how that pans out. But so that's on the list too. But like I said, that's one of the very last things I'm going to do. I don't know if I can't really put any more buildings in. I don't have room for anything, I don't think. You know, I really, you know, looking back on this, and I mean, I'm not tearing it down because I can't keep doing this, so it's kind of a done deal, but well, he knows again. I should have designed the track. I should have came up with a much better track plan. I don't think I put enough effort into the actual planning, and I'll tell you, if there's any good advice for anybody, it's make a plan. You're going to need it. Especially if you have a small area such as I do. I mean, you know, if I had a big massive area to do this, that would be one thing, but this is only an 11 by 14 foot room. It's not very big. I mean, some may think so, but it's not really big. And, you know, of course, like I said, I initially started with N scale, and the problem with the N scale is, you know, my big fat hands. And my eyesight's not as good as it used to be, so that really made a big difference on, you know, what I'm capable of doing. Although if I'd have done N scale in here, I could have had a literal city, you know. So, like I said, that was just one of those things. Let me pause the camera so I can put my ugly mug in there again, and we'll go from there. All right, there we go. I actually put a light in front of me this time, so I'm a little brighter, because apparently the lighting in this room isn't all that great, even though they're all LEDs, and there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10 lights up there. You'd think that'd be enough, but apparently not. So anyway, I put an LED flashlight in front of me, which throws a good amount of light off. So I didn't put my hat on either. I'm slipping over here. And see, I should have my hat on here, right? There we go. Well. So anyway, that's my plan for hopefully this year, at least before Strasbourg. I don't know how much I'll be able to get done, because like I said, I'm just, you know, I got so many irons in the fire these days. I got so many things that need to be done and taken care of. Yeah, I've got work around the house that has to be taken care of, so I can't let that go too crazy either. So I fit in as much as I can when I can, and I just don't have the speed and strength that I once had. So, you know, I just do what I can, and hey, you don't want to finish your layout anyway. Nobody does, because then what do? You'd have to tear it down and start over again, right? I really don't want to go there. I mean, maybe one day, who knows, 5 years down the road, I might say, hey, you know what? I got a better idea, and I'm going to go ahead and do it. But realistically, I've got so much time and money tied up in this that I really hate to tear it down. So I'm trying to work within what I've got here, and it's also possible that, you know, I may be able to modify it without completely destroying it. I mean, it could be done. It would not be easy because of the way I built everything, but, you know, I could actually create modules with what I got to some degree. And what I would need to do is actually lower this level here. You can't see it, but that level there. And lower it down about another foot, and then build a second level about a foot or so over the top of that, so it'd still be within my reach. And that would be cool, but you know, like I said, I don't know. That's a lot of work. Yeah, so I don't know how that's going to pan out down the road, but so for the most part, that's my plan. And of course, I want to continue buying more rail cars and more engines. Yeah, I'm going to stick with the scale trains on a lot of stuff. I mean, I'll get some things that aren't, but engine-wise, locomotives, strictly scale trains. I like them. The price is decent. And if you get the Rivet Counter series, they've got the keep alive circuits in them, which are really handy. So I've only got one right now that has that. I want to get 2 or 3 or 4 more, so, but that's down the road. So anyway, that's my update. I don't want to make this too long and drag it out forever. That'd bore you guys to sleep or something. That would suck, wouldn't it? So anyway, that's the plan. And hey, you know, if you guys got an idea of something you'd like to see me do, if I can do it, I would certainly entertain anything, you know, on as far as layout goes. As long as it isn't crazy, you know, tearing up things or whatever. It's maybe something little that you think, hey, why don't you put one of those in or do this? Let me know. I'm always open to ideas. So, you know, you guys, oh, you know where the comments are, and I love your comments anyway. So, anyway, that's it for now. And there'll probably be more running sessions, especially I like the cab rides. Those are fun. I got this camera. It's working out fairly well. It's easy to use anyway. So we'll be doing more of that. And like I said, and when I get that backside of that ridge done, I'll run the train through there again and show it. Then you guys will get to see it up close, and you know, I'll slow down and let you take a good look at it. Because you know, from the cab view, these mountains look really real. I mean, they really do. It's just I was kind of amazed because I was kind of, you know, that was my first attempt at that, and I didn't know how they were going to come out. And my painting, I did a base color. I bought some of the India ink, and I sprayed that on top. Well, I actually brushed that on over it. Or no, I didn't. No, I used the airbrush. And it actually came out pretty good. I mean, I think anyway. So I want to try and duplicate on the back side of that ridge, because right now it looks just stupid. I mean, it's, you know, exposed foam and flat. That doesn't look real. So, and I really didn't pay much attention to that until I, you know, put a cam on a train car and ran it through. I go, oh my God, that looks terrible. Same thing with, you know, the tunnels. The inside of the tunnels are like open. You know, it's like, well, that's not a real tunnel. A tunnel wouldn't be open like that. So I got to close those in and get that sorted out. And I will. Probably over the next several weeks or so, but I'll let you know when I get them done. Anyway, that's all I got to say for now. So, as always, keep it on the rails. Because it's not good when they derail. Yeah, I'll see you next time. So, thanks a lot, guys, and keep your eyes open for the next video. Bye.